Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Powers, the superintendent with the Twinsburg City School District. Welcome to Twinsburg Schools Today. Well, we are fast approaching the end of the school year, and it is really my honor today to have 4 of our senior standouts from the class of 2019 who are here to share a little bit about their impressions of the school district, a little bit about their plans following graduation, and a little bit of advice for those incoming freshmen for next school year. So to begin, I'd like to introduce Dana Concarly. Welcome.
Hello.
And Naya Bussey, welcome.
Hi.
I am so excited that you girls are here today.
Excited to be here.
Oh my goodness, and to be a senior standout is a pretty big deal, at least in my opinion, because that means that you are recognized as being some of the very best graduates in the class of 2019.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh no, thank you. So I was just telling you before the show started that last week we had kindergarten registration, and we welcomed the class of 2032 to the school district, our incoming kindergarten students.
Yeah.
And here you are, our class of 2019.
Yeah.
And so have you both been in the school district for your whole experience as a student?
Yes, since kindergarten.
All the way at
Been here
Wilcox
ever
Primary
since.
School.
Yes.
Yeah, does it seem like a long time ago that you were students at kindergarten?
We were babies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot has happened since then, hasn't it?
Yes.
Well, if you think about your school experience, do you have a favorite memory of the Twinsburg City School District? It could be all the way back to Wilcox or someplace in between, or even at Twinsburg High School.
My sophomore year, during the Electrify Your Strings concert, Mark Wood is a professional violinist.
Oh, yes.
And he came and performed with our orchestra, and he selected me to be with him and move around on stage. And the inner rock star in me just jumped out. And it was a night that I'll never forget.
That's fantastic. And when do you get to have an opportunity to be with a professional
Yeah.
artist like that, musician? Yeah, that was quite a concert.
Yes.
Oh, what a great memory. What about you, Naya?
Mine's not that extravagant, but in 3rd grade, I always just remember field day. Like, it was so fun, like, to be outside with my friends. Then your family came, got to eat on the lawn. I just thought that was so fun.
What a great memory, right?
Yes.
It's all about friends and family here in our school district.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're both very busy. Not only are you great students, but beside being great, outstanding students, you are busy with other activities. Why don't you share with our viewers a little bit about what you do when you're not in the class?
Well, I like to do research, medical research. I work with the Cleveland Clinic. I've been doing it for the past 2 years, and this summer will be my 3rd consecutive year.
Wow.
I also like to do music. I play different instruments. I self-taught myself guitar and piano, and I've been playing the violin for the past 10 years.
So you started with Mr. Khan
Yes.
in the 4th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been with him ever since.
Yes.
And I have to say our orchestra is just top-notch.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yes, we actually made history this year, and we received superior ratings in Class A, even in sight reading for the first time ever.
And that's the highest rating you can
Yes.
receive. Wow, that's quite a memory to leave
Yes.
Twinsburg High School with. Wow. What about you, Naya? What do you enjoy doing when you're not in class?
So I'm a part of, like, 2 clubs, so Pep Club and then Diversity Club. And then I also was a part of the African American History program, but mainly was sports. So I've started varsity basketball all 3 years that I played. I didn't play my senior year because I did indoor track, and I was able to become a state champ in the 4x2. And then last year probably was the best, like, track season outdoor because we were state runners-up as a team, and I got 4 medals in all my events, so that was really good.
That was quite an event. Just to be down in Columbus at
Yeah.
the stadium that wonderful day in June. And right now, the track team is doing outstanding.
Yes.
Looking for a repeat, I hope.
Yes, we're going to try to win the whole thing this year.
Oh, well, I'll be there cheering you on, no doubt about that. It is so exciting to just see the orchestra play and the students involved as athletes doing all of the wonderful things that you do athletically for the district. And I'm so proud when I see the performance, whether it's arts or athletics or whatever it is that we're doing, and representing our school district so very well.
Yes.
It's quite something. So at Twinsburg High School, you've had a lot of opportunity to take classes that you're interested in through electives, things that really piqued your curiosity, maybe prepared you for your next level of education, wherever that might be. So can you think about some classes at the high school that really were great, at least according to you, and what made them great?
For sure, anatomy class.
Definitely.
With
that right?
Mrs. Nora Suter-Riley.
Okay.
The way she teaches the class, it's like you're mini doctors. You know, you learn certain things with the skeletal system, and then in a couple weeks we'll be dissecting pigs, and we'll be like learning about the organs and all of those places. And just the way the environment with her class is just a different environment, and she has a personal connection with each student and just motivates and supports them. And I think that really just benefits the students, especially with that class.
And you have a personal interest in everything to do with science.
Yes.
So this is right up your alley, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I know earlier this fall you were involved with the Expressions program through
Yes.
the Cleveland Clinic. Do you want to tell our audience a little bit about that?
Yes, so it is a, whether with art, math, or any, type of just decoration, whether with certain types of statues or something like that, you take my or anyone's research project and you turn it into art. And what I did this year, was very fortunate enough to have another student do a project based on mine. My project was on the comparison whether using an iPad or having a medication that just lowers anxiety before going into the OR with surgery with little kids. And so we just noticed that the benefits with those would lower the anxiety if they're giving an iPad rather than medication, because it helps with cost and it helps with just emergence delirium, which is the post, because when you wake up from having medication, you're kind of not yourself. You're
Right.
crazy and you're screaming and everything.
Right.
And so having that additional medication in your body kind of it has those side effects. So giving the iPad kind of just lowers it a little bit.
Well,
Saves you a lot of money.
and that's really interesting. I have a family friend who had a child who would come out of anesthesia and just be in an awful way. So your research would certainly benefit that
Yeah.
child, and being able to use a different kind of treatment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're little kids, so they don't know what the OR is and what's going to
Yeah,
happen
it's
because
scary.
they assume the worst. So
Right.
if you just give them a little iPad and play a game with them and you interact with them and explain to them that it's going to be okay, they'll understand. They'll be like, okay, it's fine, and then they'll get on with the surgery.
And so when you finish Twinsburg High School and you have such a great interest in science, what are you going to be studying?
Pharmacy.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. I decided to do a little something different.
Yes.
Pharmacy is a great lifestyle, and you're working with doctors as well. The doctor will prescribe a medication, and the pharmacist will look at it, and they can either say, yes, I agree, or no, I'd rather give them this medication.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think about it's like doctors of the doctors. They tell them yes or no, and I think you benefit with that. I'd rather be a clinical pharmacist, so you can work with the doctors in the hospital on rotations.
Wow.
So
I never thought about it that way, but that is true.
yeah.
There has to be a working relationship, positive relationship between the physician and the person that helps prescribe the medication.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Very impressed. So Naya, what about you? What about your favorite class and maybe your favorite teacher at the high school?
So we have anatomy together.
Yeah.
So
Do you?
yeah, I really was gonna say anatomy too, because it's like a family. There's sophomores, juniors, seniors, and we're all able to talk to each other, and we got to know each other. Last class, we just sat in a circle and
Yeah.
just let everything out. Just felt really good. So Miss Sudarelli's good with that. And then I also liked Miss Chernick. I don't know, she's just very dedicated to her job.
Mm-hmm.
So it made us want to work harder in the classroom for her, because she would just do it for us. So
I think the teacher really makes a difference,
Yes.
doesn't he or she?
yeah.
Oh, for sure. So we mentioned the class of 2032 coming in, but also a class of 2023. I think that's right. If I'm doing my math correctly, would be the incoming freshmen coming to Twinsburg High School next year. And I was at the honor course ceremony last week, and it's so interesting to see the students today and then see students like you 4 years later, and here you are ready to graduate. If you had any advice for the incoming freshmen, what kinds of things would you offer them?
Honestly, I told my brother, because he's a freshman this year, don't slack off freshman year, and just always pay attention. There's time outside of the classroom to socialize, but when you're in the classroom, focus on your grades, just so you're not stressed out when it's time to apply to college, everything's just in line and just ready. So,
Yeah.
Being focused is really important, isn't
yes.
it? Great advice. How about you?
I would say work on time management and also utilize your sources, because especially with math, they have YouTube accounts, and they make videos every single lesson. And if you have a question, you can always search up on Google or YouTube, and you would find that video. Also, with time management, when you're older, everything piles up more.
It does.
So with all of that happening, and you're also involved in a lot of clubs and sports, it will pile up, and you're staying up until 1 in the morning. You don't want to do that. You want to work ahead and space out what you need to do, and you need to prioritize first.
Time management is a life skill, isn't it? So speaking of time management, things like that, with technology, we seem to get more information quicker, faster, whatever, and in your senior year, you had an opportunity to work with the Chromebooks at the high school. Has it changed how you're learning with the implementation of the Chromebooks?
Definitely. Like in English class, we can like have the books like online so that we don't have to bring the heavy book home. We can just read at home and do our homework off of that. It's just quicker and easier.
Yeah, I find it a lot, saves us a lot of, back pain and stuff like that. I think the best part is like having everything with Google, Google Docs, Google Slides, and everything. You can work on your Chromebook, and you work on your phone. It's just connected everywhere, and you can work with other students, and I just find that great.
I think today's workforce is all about collaboration.
Yeah.
So it's really important that our students understand the importance of working with each other and having relationships, even if it's sometimes virtually through technology. But being able to time manage and focus are two great things that you need in order to be successful.
Yeah.
So your parents have been with you every step of the way, from that first day of kindergarten when you're getting on the bus to high school commencement. If you had a couple words that you wanted to say to them, what would that be?
I tell my parents now because they get emotional thinking about me leaving, but I just tell them thank you for always being there for me, especially my mom. Like, she's never missed a track meet or basketball game, so she's just always there. So I just like to thank them about just being there for me all the time, and I love them so much.
And they love you too. What about you, Dean?
I would just say thank you for always being there to support me, because I would not be anywhere without them. I have like siblings. They tell me, they lead me to the right path. Same with my parents. I just love them so much. And also thank you for picking me up from school, because I don't drive. Yeah.
Well, I think students do so well because they have great support behind them, and both of your families are just tremendous supporters of both you and also of our school district. And I really appreciate all they've done in your time in our school district. So what is your next? What are you off to after June 2nd?
I'm going to The Ohio State University to run track. So I got a scholarship and I just signed last week. But I'm just got admitted into the health and rehabilitation program, and then after that hopefully go to PT school, and then in the long run open up my own business. So
Wow. Huge plans.
Yeah.
She's going to do
Best
great
of luck.
things.
Absolutely. And what about you?
I will be going to Cleveland State University, and I will
My
be
alma mater?
I'll be hopefully as a pre-pharmacy student, and hopefully I will be going into pharmacy school within the next 4 or 5 years.
Wow. Well, I wish both of you the very best. Thank you so much for
you.
being
Thank
standouts in the
you.
class of 2019. Always making me proud. No matter where I see you, what you're doing, you represent our district so well, and you're just two wonderful young ladies, and I look forward to reading about you and seeing you do outstanding things at commencement and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Please stay tuned, as when we come back we will have 2 more senior standouts from the class of 2019. Welcome back to Twinsburg Schools Today. As you know from our first segment, today we are celebrating the class of 2019 with 4 outstanding senior standouts. And for our second segment, I'd like to introduce you Julianne Schaefer. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
And Jason Ahern. Welcome too.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I am so delighted. As I said to Dana and I before, class of 2019, you are a special group of young ladies and young gentlemen, and have done so many things to make not only me proud as superintendent, but your parents especially. And you represent the community so well. So we started the last segment asking Naya and Dana if they'd been students with us for the entire many years that you were in school. Is that the same case here?
Yes, I've actually gone all the way through preschool to
There you
12th
go.
grade. Yes, I was part of the preschool peers program.
Yeah, the
in
integrated
Wilcox.
preschool.
Yes.
Goodness, and what about you, Julianne?
I've been a student since kindergarten, so
Okay,
been
so
through.
the whole consecutive, all the way
Yep.
from Wilcox on up.
Yeah.
And I bet you can hardly remember all the way back at Wilcox. Time flies, though, and
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents have great memories of what that was like.
Yeah.
So you're a senior standout for a reason, or standouts for reasons, because you do a lot of things. You are excellent students, and you take the time to invest in your school and in our community. So why don't you share with our viewers a little bit about some of the things that you enjoy doing outside of the classroom?
Right, so I'm obviously very involved with my classroom work, but I try to keep myself as well-rounded as possible by either volunteering my time at community events or working or joining extracurricular activities like sports and clubs. But the most probably important volunteer work that I've done is with Relay for Life, the Twinsburg, Macedonia Relay for Life. And I've been working with Relay for Life ever since I was like 10 years old, because a few of my family members have been affected by cancer, including my mother and my grandmother. It was pretty inspiring to see them fight through their battles with cancer, and I want to make a difference in the community by volunteering for Relay for Life. So my sophomore year, or after sophomore year, during the summer, I was the chair of Luminaria, and I was a part of the board for Relay for Life, and I was on the committee to plan the event, and I was also running the event, setting up tents the day of. But obviously that work on the day of was a lot easier than the whole planning event, the marketing, all the logistics of the event, because that took a lot of time, and it was worth it. We got a good turnout, and we raised a lot of money for cancer, which is what we're always aiming for.
And that goes to research then.
Right, it goes straight to American Cancer Society, and they spend it at their discretion for research on cancer. Yes.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me that you had such a personal connection, and you dedicated yourself in your spare time and whatever time you had to make sure that you were on the planning committee and you brought it forward to just such a wonderful event. That's tremendous. And I know that you're a soccer player.
Yes.
Right, so you're on the soccer team. And Jason, I know that you're an outstanding student with lots and lots of AP classes behind you. How many have you taken in your time?
I've taken 4 before this year, and this next couple weeks, I'm going to have 6. And
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a lot of studying to do still. I've already studied a lot, but
yeah,
it's I've been spending a lot of time in my room studying, and my parents, I'm really grateful that they're not pressuring me to come outside and walk the dog, because I know these last couple weeks are going to be very difficult. And
yeah. It seems to me that you're the kind of person that stays focused and really has a goal, and whatever that is, be it community service or doing well academically, you strive to do the best that you can, and ultimately here you are ready to graduate.
Right. I just try to make myself the best person I can walking through the halls or outside of my school time. It's really important that I'm a well-rounded individual and that I can proudly carry myself without regretting any decisions that I made or decided not to make. And
Person of character.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure your parents are so proud of you, as I am too.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, Julianne? What do you enjoy doing when you're not busy with classwork and all of that?
Oh boy. Well, there's not much time off, but I enjoy going to all the sporting events. Football has been my favorite to watch throughout the years. Even though we haven't been the best, I still enjoy the atmosphere, hanging out with the friends and watching our fellow classmates play. And I'm involved in a lot of different clubs. And then this year I have started Key Club. It's a club based on community service. And so I've just really, been working hard on that with different teachers and administrators in the high school, and then trying to come up with service projects and trying to improve the community any way I can.
And that's a club that you just started from an idea.
Yeah.
And you pushed it forward, and here we have
Yeah.
a chartered club.
Yep.
And affiliated with the Brecksville Kiwanis.
Yes. So Key Club's an international organization, so there's clubs all across the world that are just trying to do the same thing as us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I applaud you for your efforts and giving back to the community. Community gives so much to us who go to school here or work for a school district. It's so nice when we can give back in whatever way that happens to be.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you think about Twinsburg High School, and you had a lot of classes in your time there, 4 years, do you have a favorite that really has made a difference in maybe your future plans?
Yeah, my favorite class, I think by far, is Mr. Kirtley's interactive media class, where we worked on journalism, we worked on reporting and using cameras. It was really an introductory class. I took it for 2 years, so the second year I was a little bit more advanced, but still I'm a novice. But it was very fun. It allowed me to use my my skills and my interests to report on the school and the school district also.
And at the high school, there's a daily news show?
Yes.
Is that related to this class
Yes,
then?
this is a class that makes the news show, and we make the reporter packages that go in the news, and we make graphics, and pretty much the whole news program is run by that class.
I think that would be really fun.
It was very fun.
And then that's attached to your work with me and our summer production of Twinsburg Schools Today.
Right. Sophomore year, junior year, and this coming couple weeks away, we're going to be working on the Twinsburg City Schools Today summer edition with my friend John Sadlowski, and we're going to be touring the schools and taking B-roll of the schools and interviewing principals and just trying to bring out the best of each school.
It's so much fun, and I always enjoy watching that show in the summertime. It's, you know, when you're in the middle of a school year, you forget all of the things. I was looking back to the beginning of the year. Do you remember the flags over by the high school on 9/11? I saw some photos like, wow, that was this school year. We've done so many neat things in the 9 months of the year. So thank you for your work on that show. It's been very impressive.
It's been an honor to do it.
Oh, thank you. So what about you, Julian? Do you have a favorite class?
I do. I took AP Psychology last year,
Okay.
and I was a little nervous to take it at first. You know, I knew it was going to be hard. It's an AP class, so of course it's going to be challenging. But I just fell in love with the subject and all the different people that you learn about, and different theories and everything in the class. So.
And do you have a favorite teacher that's connected to AP Psych or
I
something
do.
else?
Miss Fortner taught it last year. She was just wonderful, and probably I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if I didn't have her.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's an engaging teacher.
Oh
then.
yeah. She really knows a lot about the subject. So.
Well, you both have been really successful in your time at the high school. But even when you're success, you might think back to something you might have done differently, maybe a class you maybe missed and you heard from friends that you should have taken at it. What are some things that if you had a chance to go back in time, what would you do different? Is there anything?
Primarily, I think as a freshman, I would have joined more clubs. As a freshman, I couldn't drive. I couldn't really get myself to these clubs, but I wish I would have, either made some friends in the club that could drive me home, or I had my parents or my sister drive me home. But really, I didn't start getting involved with clubs until sophomore or junior year. So I wish going in, I would have known all the good opportunities that the clubs bring to the school.
Yeah, isn't it hard though when you're first a freshman just to even understand all the things you can get involved in?
Yeah, there's so much to get involved with, especially now with the academy with Mr. Potter. I wish that would have been available when I was a freshman, but that's such a good opportunity for the incoming freshmen and for classes in the future to get involved with, and it's like a pre-professional development. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. We're quite proud of that, and I think the program that Mr. Potter has worked so hard behind the scenes, and the Twin Talks and all the things that he offers our students is actually a model program in the state of Ohio as far as high school opportunities go. So we're proud. Thank you for the plug. I'll have to let him know that you found value in this program.
Yeah.
What about you, Julianne? Would you have done anything maybe differently?
So I think starting with freshman year, like Jason said, I would have gotten involved more. I've been involved in a couple different clubs. There's World Language Club, Student Council, and now Key Club. So I've been involved in those, but I really would have just tried to maybe play a sport or found an interest that I didn't really know I had.
I think that's probably one of the best things about going to high school is that you can try things out, and if you don't like one club, then maybe it's not for you. Maybe there's something else that better suits your personality or your circle of friends or whatever it happens to be. Yeah. So Naya and Dana gave some really great advice to the incoming freshmen, the class of 2023. Do you have any great advice you would offer them? Now, we mentioned about joining some clubs, but anything else that you would suggest that they might consider as they begin their 4 years at the high school?
I think it's really important that all the students, no matter what age, no matter what year, they take their academics seriously, do all their homework, make sure they study for every test, because some of these classes you're never going to get to take again. So it's really important that they, try to thrive in the classes now, because they're not going to be able to have another chance in the future. And also, I think that all the students should try to play as many sports as they can. Before freshman year, I had never made a baseball team. I was cut from everyone. And then I tried out with Mr. Jones, and he put me on the team, and that was probably the most defining moment of my high school career. I was really proud of myself for all the work I'd put in, and I was proud to be able to make the team.
It talks a lot about your goals, right? And sometimes you don't get them right away, but you have to keep working at it.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to face failure to make yourself better, and I think I've learned that with baseball and with my experiences in classes.
That's right. Well, those are great goals to have, and good advice for the incoming freshman class. Any great advice?
So one class along with psychology that's really helped me is Spanish as a foreign language, and I would just say maybe try out a foreign language or an art class or something that you're on the fence about. and get involved with it. It may not work out, but at least you know that you put in the effort and tried.
That's right. Again, there are just so many opportunities. Not everybody fits every opportunity, but it's good to make sure that you give it your best shot. And who knows, you might fall in love with something that you had no idea that you would have an interest in doing, right? And so if we think about our parents and our families, we know that, boy, you are who you are because of who they are and all the support that they've given you over the years. If you have any advice you wanted to, or words of thanks you want to offer your parents and maybe your sibling too?
Of course. So my parents have always made it an effort to get to anything that we have going on, my brother and I. So I'd like to thank them for that, and just putting in all of their effort that they can to get to, picking me up from a club on time, or getting to an orchestra concert that I had, or a baseball game that my brother's playing in. So they're always, always doing their hardest to get to whatever we have going on.
Right. That's. So what would you say to them?
Thank you for just supporting me and being there for me.
That's great. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I would love to thank my parents for supporting me, for buying me books, buying me pencils, school supplies, all that, but also giving me a space and time to learn outside of the classroom. They don't really bother me while I'm in my room studying, and I really wouldn't be where I am without their help, without their guidance and their support. So I really want to thank them for all they've done. I know it's hard to think how much they've done for you sometimes. It's hard to how to think how you're ever going to pay them back for it. So I just really want to thank them for all they've done.
Well, I don't think that you have to pay them back. You just have to be the great people that you both are, and that's really what your mom and dad want from you, to be happy and successful and doing what you love, whatever that happens to be, once you're through college and on to your next best. And I think that's the compensation they look for, and on all the years of dedication that they've provided for both of you. So what will your next be? Where are you going, and what are you going to study?
So I will be going to Bowling Green State University to study psychology, and eventually I will be going on to study sports psychology and hopefully work with athletes one-on-one.
Fantastic. Well, good luck to you. And Jason, what about you?
This fall I'll be attending the Ohio State University, majoring in computer science and possibly a double major in economics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I admire all the computer programmers, the pioneers like Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg, and I just admire how much they've changed the world with their programming and with their skills.
Well, you have the integrity and the character to change the world too, and I wish you all the very best in all that you do. Well, it's the end of our Senior Standout show. We thank you for joining us today. I am so very proud of every single one of the students in the class of 2019, but particularly of our 4 guests today who are off to do fantastic things following commencement on June 2nd. We wish them all the best, and we can hardly wait to hear about all their success stories. Thank you for joining us today for Twinsburg Schools Today. Have a great day and a safe and happy summer, and we'll see you soon at one of our many school events.